Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed.
Hi, I'm Hannah Tabios, and this is MB Now, and here are your news on web. The Chinese embassy in Manila has confirmed that the 600,000 doses of Sinovac vaccines donated by the Chinese government will arrive in Manila this Sunday, February 28. Chinese ambassador to the Philippines, Wang Shilian, said the donation of vaccines is another testament to the solidarity as well as profound friendship and partnership between China and the Philippines. The vaccine donation was first announced when Chinese Foreign Minister and State Councilor Wang Yi visited Manila last month. Wang thanked those who have worked so hard to make the delivery to the vaccine to the Philippines happen. The Philippine government earlier said that 150,000 doses of the Chinese-made vaccines will be given to the armed forces of the Philippines. On Thursday, presidential spokesman Harry Roque stated that the Sinovac vaccines can be rolled out as early as Monday, saying our countrymen are excited. The Food and Drug Administration on Monday granted emergency use authorization, or EUA, to Sinovac Biotech's COVID-19 vaccine after a thorough review by the country's medical and regulatory experts. The country's healthcare workers can refuse the first available coronavirus vaccine without losing their priority status, and the vaccination line Malacanang said Thursday. Ahead of the arrival of the Sinovac vaccines in the country, presidential spokesman Harry Roque clarified that the medical frontliners would be forced to take a certain vaccine if they prefer to wait for another brand. Roque also said that they will maintain or follow the order of priority of vaccine recipients. Early this month, the government pandemic task force released the list of priority groups in the free vaccination program. First on the list are frontline workers in health facilities, including health professionals and non-professionals like students, nursing aides, janitors, and barangay health workers. Meanwhile, health workers from the Philippine General Hospital conducted a protest in front of the PGH Oblation along Taft Avenue this morning. They expressed their refusal to be injected with Sinovac vaccine due to low efficacy rates and unsafe for them. They demand the government for a free, safe, and high efficacy and effectiveness rate vaccine against COVID-19 for the country's health workers. Metro Manila's localized lockdowns may have helped slow down the increasing number of COVID-19 cases, but there remain indications of continuous rising trend in new cases in the metropolis, according to the Octa research report. In its February 25 bulletin, the research group said that after 719 new case reports on February 22, the daily new cases in Metro Manila have decreased to 474 on February 24. Octa noted that in NCR, Pasay City had a 160% increase in new cases compared to the previous week, while the daily attack rate was high at 12.67 per 100,000. Citing case reports of the Department of Health, the group pointed out that Malabon, Manila, Makati, Taguig, Parañaque, and Marikina also had more than 40% increase in new COVID-19 cases compared to the previous weeks, while several local government units in NCR reported increase in new cases. Octa cited Mandaluyong as the best performing LGU in the NCR. Mandaluyong City not only avoided an increase in new cases but also reported a low daily attack rate of 2.55 per 100,000, low hospital occupancy of 5%, and low positivity rate of 2%. The team also cited Muntinlupa City, Valenzuela City, and Pasig City that performed well in several key indicators. Octa reported that Cebu City still had the most number of new COVID-19 cases nationwide, averaging 220 per day for the past 7 days, although its trend has slowed down. Over 100 tremor episodes lasting 1 to 34 minutes have been detected in Taal Volcano during the 24-hour observation of the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS. In its volcano bulletin issued today, February 26, the PHIVOLCS said only weak steam-laden plumes were emitted by fumularic activity at the vents of the main crater, despite the occurrence of 113 tremor episodes. With these observations, PHIVOLCS said Taal Volcano remains under alert level 1 due to possible sudden steam-driven or phreatic explosions, volcanic earthquakes, minor ashfall, and lethal accumulations or expulsions of volcanic gas that can occur and threaten areas within the Taal Volcano Island. The local government units were also advised to continuously assess previously evacuated barangays around Taal Lake for damages and road accessibilities, and to strengthen preparedness, contingency, and communication measures in case of renewed unrest. People asked to continue to observe precautions due to ground displacement across fissures, possible ashfall, and minor earthquakes. In Metro News, medical officers deployed in 4 barangays bordering Parañaque and Pasay. Mayor Isko backs proposal to open parks for all ages for Family Day, and Mayor Belmonte meets with Quezon City officials to discuss public safety following Commonwealth shootout. More from this report.
Medical officers have been deployed in 4 barangays bordering Parañaque and Pasay to conduct border checks between the 2 cities. The 4 barangays are Baclaran, Tambo, Vitales, and Merville. Parañaque Mayor Edwin Olivares said the deployment of medical officers was made following reports on alarming rise of COVID-19 cases in Pasay City. Pasay City had earlier placed 56 barangays under localized community quarantine after a surge in COVID-19 cases in the city. Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Dumagoso backed the Department of Tourism's proposal to open City's Park to people of all ages once a week for designated Family Day. Dumagoso said he is supporting all initiatives to gradually open spaces in the city amid the COVID-19 pandemic to boost the city's economy. On February 17, the Department of Tourism reopened Intramuros, including some of its known attractions such as Fort Santiago, Casa Manila, and Baluarte de Santiago to visitors aged 15 to 65 years old. Dumagoso also encouraged the public to visit other attractions in the city like Andres Bonifacio Monument Park near the Manila City Hall and the Hidden Garden in Lawton. He also said the Manila Metropolitan Theater will open to the public in April. Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte will be meeting as soon as possible with officials of the Quezon City Police District, the City Barangays, the City Department of Public Order and Safety, the Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office, and other agencies to talk about the public safety after the shooting incident on Commonwealth Avenue last Wednesday, February 24. For Belmonte, there's a need for better crowd management to avoid incidents just like what was shown in amateur videos of the shootout posted on social media showing civilians standing a few feet away from the responding police officers. The risk of civilians' safety and lives in the area of the encounter is Belmonte's primary concern. Belmonte said it is duty of the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group or CIDG, the NBI, and the House of Representatives to investigate the incident. She added she is leaving the matter to Joint Inquiry Team to determine the details of the incident and who should be held liable. Belmonte is also planning to meet with business owners near the encounter site to help them regain consumer confidence.
Here are the top news in other parts of the country. COVID-19 quarantine facility opens in Guimaras, and BARMM provinces to get own disaster response units. Here are the details.
A newly built facility intended to temporarily house those who have coronavirus disease or those who are suspected to have the virus has been opened in the island province of Guimaras. The Office of the Department of Public Works and Highways in Western Visayas turned over the facility to the provincial government of Guimaras. The 16-room isolation facility can serve those who needed to be quarantined from the towns of Jordan, Buena Vista, Nueva Valencia, San Lorenzo, and Cebu. The COVID-19 facility also has male and female doctors' quarters, nurses' station, and restrooms. The Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or BARMM is set to establish Emergency Operations Centers or EOCs in every province to effectively respond to the emergency needs of its constituents in far-flung communities across the region. Minister Naguib Sinarimbo of the Ministry of the Interior and Local Government in BARMM said the EOCs would be established through the Emergency Response Office and the Rapid Emergency Action on Disaster Incidents. Aside from the region's 5 provinces, the EOCs would also be put up in Cotabato City, City and in the 63 North Cotabato villages that opted to be part of BARMM. Personnel to be deployed in the EOCs will work hand-in-hand with the Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Offices for smooth emergency response.
In world news, worldwide coronavirus deaths top 2.5 million according to AFP count. Facebook restores news for Australian users after media bargaining deal, and Warsaw residents wait for hours in the snow for Fat Thursday donuts. Let's watch this report.
COVID-19 has killed more than 2.5 million people worldwide since the pandemic began in December 2019. According to an AFP count based on official figures as of February 25, in total 2,500,172 deaths and 112,618,488 cases have been reported. With deaths, Europe is the hardest hit region, followed by Latin America and the Caribbean, and the United States and Canada. Almost half of the fatalities have occurred in just 5 countries: the United States, Brazil, Mexico, India, and Britain. These figures are based on daily tolls provided by health authorities in each country and exclude later re-evaluations by statistical organizations, as has happened in Russia, Spain, and Britain. The world passed 1 million reported coronavirus deaths on September 28, a little over 9 months after the first death was recorded in China in January 2020. Facebook on Friday restored access to news for its Australian users after reaching agreement with the government on landmark law requiring it and other tech firms to pay for journalistic content. Facebook and Google, the two companies targeted by the regulations, strongly objected to clauses requiring them to submit mandatory arbitration over the amount they would have to pay local media to show Australian news on their platforms and search results. To avoid being hit by arbitration, Google negotiated multi-million-dollar content licensing deals with the host Australian companies and notably the country's two biggest news organization, the Rupert Murdoch News Corporation and the Nine Entertainment. The agreement marked a new foray into content payment for Facebook and Google, who become two of the world's largest and most profitable companies, largely by organizing, curating, and indexing others' content cost-free. Facebook and Google have each said they will invest around $1 billion in news around the world over the next 3 years. Several dozen people wait for hours in cold and snow in front of a famous pastry shop in Warsaw to buy donuts on the traditional Polish Fat Thursday, a day to overindulge before fasting for Lent. The owner of the pastry shop is the longest store selling traditional recipe for donuts. The said donuts are made of natural products, hand-rolled with jam, fried and lard, and hand-glazed. One of the customers said that he can't wait to eat a dozen of box donuts he bought, 4 each in the morning, lunch, and dinner.
In entertainment, 2 French bulldogs belonging to U.S. pop singer Lady Gaga were stolen in Los Angeles after the employee walking them shot and wounded. Los Angeles police said a gunman had taken the dogs and fled the Hollywood location in a vehicle Wednesday night, and that another man in his 30s was shot and hospitalized, but not confirmed any person's identities. It was also reported that Lady Gaga had offered a $500,000 reward for the return of the dogs named Koji and Gustav. French bulldogs are considered as a coveted and expensive pedigree breed that can sell for thousands of dollars. It was not clear if Lady Gaga's pets were deliberately targeted. In sports, veteran guard RJ Jazul will have his share of limelight in the coming PBA Press Corps Virtual Awards Night. The 34-year-old Jazul, who is the captain of the Phoenix Fuel Masters, is named Mr. Quality Minutes by members of the PBA Press Corps for his immense contributions coming off the bench. The two-in-one awards night that will also have the 2019 awardees being recognized is set on March 7 at the TV5 Media Center. Jazul registered a career high of 33 points, spiked by 9 3-pointers in the Fuel Masters win over 5-time champion San Miguel Beer to clinch a berth in the quarterfinals. And those are the news on web today, February 26, 2021. For more news and details, get your copy of Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow or log on to www.mb.com.ph. You may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on the video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Hannah Tabios for Manila Bulletin. Join us again on Monday. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.